Today's episode of My Worst Date is brought to you by Audible.
Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/myworstdate.
Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Cheers!
Amen. What are we doing? Are you recording?
Yeah. So
okay.
what about it?
So
what about it?
right before we started recording, you were talking about like starting conversations
On Tinder.
and how, well, I mean, in general, but like
yeah.
in life, I feel like we've lost this art of like conversating.
Talking with people.
With
like
humans.
actually how to have a human conversation. Yeah.
And that just made me laugh because I was on this website called like Conversation Starter World earlier today.
Oh my God.
There's an app for that?
There's
It's
an app
not
for
an
that.
app,
There you
although
go.
it should be. Like that's what Anthony was saying. He's like, oh,
like
it's
word
such
of the
a funny
day,
app.
like a calendar.
It's not an app. It's a website called conversationstartersworld.com.
Okay.
And they have an entire page of would you rather like questions.
Yes.
So
Ooh.
we were driving back from NorCal today and we were like, trying to come up with new things to do to keep ourselves entertained.
Yeah.
So I looked these up and I screenshotted this one because Anthony was like, if you don't ask Christina and Cassie that on the show, he's like, I'm gonna be upset.
Okay.
Actually,
I
the
love
wedding
Would You
is
Rathers.
off.
They're so funny.
Off.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it got spicy.
Wow.
It got real spicy. It got real sweaty in there.
Got hot.
He didn't actually say that.
Okay.
But okay, so I have to ask this question because you guys are gonna laugh. It started a conversation, if you will. Okay, so here's the question.
So wait, it's a conversation starter, and it started a conversation.
See how that works?
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. Mind blown.
Yeah.
Okay, so here it is. Would you rather have to fart loudly every time you have a serious conversation
Ooh.
or have to burp after every kiss?
Oh my God.
I mean, because like, here's the deal. Like burping after every kiss is disgusting. It would be so gross. If you dated somebody who burped after every time
But
you
a
kiss.
serious
But
conversation, and you're like,
how many relationships are you going to lose, romantic or otherwise, if you fart loudly
After any serious conversation.
During any
Oh.
serious conversation?
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna burp after.
Right? That's what I said.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I'm going to burp after. Like, it's gross. But like, I would break up with somebody if they farted loudly when I was trying to have a fucking serious conversation with them. I would break up with them. Our relationship is over.
My God. I'm really my wheels are spinning. I'm pros conning in my head right now.
Yeah, because if
I'm
you're in a
just
serious
like-
conversation, like you're mad at somebody, and
Yeah.
you're just like,
I know it ruins it. Do you know what? I actually kind of
no one
think
will take you seriously.
okay. I kind of think that maybe I'm a little too in my head at times. So maybe knowing that I would do that if I had a serious conversation, I think maybe I would choose the fart.
But then
Only
you can
because then I would always have a mate, like this air of mystery around me. 'Cause I
Literally.
would never I would never talk
Mysterious
about
air.
anything serious. I would never like reveal anything
But you
serious.
can't live your life like
no,
that.
that's horrible.
You would never be able
But
to live
I
your life.
cannot
It's not
burp
sustainable.
after a kiss. That's not.
And
that's
also,
not-
it's not entirely within your control whether or not you have a serious conversation.
Yeah.
that's true.
Like it's
I
within,
can just walk away.
Oh, you're, just like,
you're gonna
I'm
lose
out.
so many jobs,
And friends,
friends,
love
boyfriends.
friends, everything.
No.
I mean,
This
that
is
I don't know.
impossible.
It's terrible. Like
Yeah,
some
I
of
guess-
these, like would you rather's, are like super easy, right?
Yeah.
But like then there are some of
Ugh.
them that you're like, I mean, both of those are terrible because
Yeah, that
I
sucks.
do think it would be a red flag for me if I was dating someone who literally burped after
Ugh.
every time
Yeah.
we kissed. But if we were having a
Yeah.
real serious conversation, a what are we conversation, and they farted loudly,
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: you suppress that shit
Would
if
it
you
be-
care about
would it
that
be-
person.
would it be
and you
better-
bury it.
deep down.
Would it
Bury
be better if it was a loud fart or if it was a smelly fart?
Ew.
If it's a loud.
What if it's both?
If it's if it's a loud, not smelly fart
silent
silent but deadly,
Oh.
which would be worse?
Both suck.
If you're having a serious conversation, you're really heated, and then all of a sudden you're just like butthole sandwich.
I think I would be more mad if it was loud. I don't know why. Like, I'd be more mad because I think that there's just something about that I would feel like the disrespect. Whereas if it was smelly, I'd be like, in my head, I'd be like, I think you tried to suppress this and you just couldn't.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one feels like deliberately insulting.
It's like you're just ripping them.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
like, no, I'm sorry.
Like you lifted a leg to
you
do it.
hold that shit in.
Yeah.
If we are having a serious
Oh
conversation.
my God.
No.
You'd have to have all your serious conversations like on the balcony or like outside just so it can air out. You'd be like, this is serious. We need to go outside.
I think it would take a very certain kind of person to be able to tolerate that. Like, if you like, when would you break that news that you're like, listen, I have a rare disorder.
Rare disorder.
When I get uncomfortable, usually during serious conversations, I will fart loudly.
I feel like
no.
that's after like
You wait till they're on the hook.
you wait until like after the exclusive conversation.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, all right, I got
I have a serious conversation for you, and it's about my serious conversation.
That's what this is about. It's that.
It's
That's that right there.
That just happened.
Yeah, what you just heard, that's what it is.
So
Yikes.
I guess I should admit to listeners that
You failed.
I've been bad.
You failed.
I failed.
You failed.
You know what? Yeah, I did. I got bored. It wasn't working fast enough, and I re-downloaded Tinder. I'm so sorry.
No, I mean, I think
I'm
it's an
sorry,
interesting. I
listeners.
think it's an interesting conversation about the nature of these apps and how
Immediate.
they're
Instant
designed,
gratification.
and they're designed to be
Yeah.
addictive like that. Like that's the nature
Well,
of how it is now.
It's not even addictive. It's just like
Isn't it?
it's that you get bored on a Wednesday night when you don't have plans and like.
But I think that
or
addictions
friends and
work
stuff
that way,
like that.
though. I mean, I think that that's why a lot of people like
Smoke.
drink, smoke. It's
Yeah.
boredom. Like, you know.
Yeah, where I'm like, I want someone to tell me I'm pretty, and
Correct.
so I'll download this app.
This
And-
sounds like
yeah.
it sounds. The first step is admitting that you have a problem,
Oh, I
Christina.
know.
I'm gonna need you.
I know. So I actually, because of this, it did spark a situation that I want to get yours and the listeners' point of view on.
Okay.
Okay. So I match with a dude face who is pretty funny. He's very
Super funny.
super
You showed me
funny.
a video
I
and it was
I
hilarious.
snooped it. It's like really funny, very, very smart. He's like 10 years older. He's,
Oh, he is? He doesn't look it.
he doesn't.
No,
Yeah.
he's good looking.
Yeah. He's pretty good looking, nice. We've talked on the phone, everything like that. Now, he really believes in our Lord and Savior, Jesus. So, that being said, I'm saying all this
Sure.
in that I am not a believer.
Yeah.
I am not like derisive of it or anything
Sure,
like
sure.
that, but it's not my cup of tea.
But I do feel like
So-
somebody who is would be like, want somebody else who is.
Well, we've actually talked about it.
Yeah.
So he knows that I'm not, and I know that he is. And
Sure.
like we've had debates and stuff back and forth. But like, what is that a deal breaker? Something that,
I don't know.
I mean,
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think everybody is different, but having come from a highly religious background,
he's not trying to convert me. However, it is kind of a thing that's sticking in my craw.
Yeah.
And I don't,
having come from a highly religious background and having been that person,
yeah.
I would have been. I mean, I did date people who weren't, but if something matters enough to you,
Right.
if it matters enough to you, if he's just kind of like, yeah, I'm down with, JC, but also I could take it or leave it,
Yeah.
then it's fine.
Yeah.
But anything, it's not just about religion. Anything that's like a vital part of your worldview
Right.
dating someone who has
Like
a
it's
diametrically opposed viewpoint is eventually going to come up. Like it's not like it's never you, and it might work out. Like you might be fine. People fight about all kinds of things, but you will fight about it at some point. Like there's just no way that I just don't think.
Yeah, because like here's the thing. Like I'm never gonna be a believer,
Right.
And he's never gonna be a not believer,
Right.
So like
I don't know. I became a not believer.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
I'm not saying you're trying to convert him or anything or whatever.
No,
And I think that's, I guess.
I think people can
have you gone
change,
on a
but
date with him?
in my experience, somebody who's in his mid to late 40s,
Yeah.
I'd have to know how he came to it too. Like, did he come to it later in life? Was he raised in it? Because people who come to it on their own later in life, I think are harder
Much diehard.
to like
more.
let go of that. You know, I mean, and do you want to even do that? Because it's just like if it makes him happy and like
correct, and
Exactly.
that's kind of how I feel. Like if it makes him happy and he's not trying to convert me,
at the end of the day, like whatever gets you through.
Would
Like
he be
I
like
don't.
opposed to us cursing and shit like that? Because that's going to happen.
no, he curses and stuff
Yeah,
like
I mean-
Right, but
obviously.
then in
and,
that
like,
case, I don't care. Like
mean,
to me, I think
yeah.
everyone can have whatever beliefs they want to have. Like so
Absolutely.
that's not a problem for me. My thing is, and I think this has less to do with you and more to do with him, to be honest, is like if you have, because it's not like you're the one with the strongly held belief here. It's him,
right.
and so it's like just for me, just knowing who I am, and maybe he's different, and maybe like it will be a different situation for you guys. But in my experience, people who have really, really strongly held beliefs, being with people who don't support those beliefs, or not even support, but like don't hold those beliefs themselves,
Right.
you're gonna have problems, and they might not be like end of relationship problems, but
I
they're
think
gonna
there
be
will
an
be because
issue.
it's not that it's not even that I don't support his beliefs. Like, I mean, it's fine, but I'm like actively like, if
You
I'm
wouldn't be an
complete-
active participant in his religion.
Well, that's a problem. Like that's
Yeah.
gonna creep up.
Where
I
I'm
mean,
just like,
that's the
it,
thing
it,
is
it
like
really does like kind of like I'm like really. You
if
believe
it
in
were two
God?
people who were ambivalent, then I'd be like, that's fine. But it sounds like it's two people who are not ambivalent,
Right.
on opposite sides. And like
Completely
when that happens, it's like if you believe in something so strongly, like with every, and I say this
Right.
as someone who was that person, like if
Right.
you believe in something so strongly, even though you know the other person isn't meaning you harm, it is insulting on a level when you feel like
that I'm
that they're just like kind of being like, okay,
like believing in
they're,
Santa
they're being a
Claus.
little patronizing to the thing that you feel like you believe in
Very
to
strongly.
be the one and only truth. Like it's
Right.
it's
yeah.
gonna be a hard thing to live with.
Where I'm like, yeah. So yeah,
But I don't know. I mean, like if you want to give it a try, give it a try. Those are just my thoughts on it. Because
yeah. I just thought that was interesting because I usually when I see something like that, I'm like, nope. But here's the other thing: it's not in his bio. So if it's like we've said, if it's important to you,
important to
put it in your bio.
Yeah, it's weird. How
Well,
did it come up at all?
yeah, maybe meet him and see. Because
I forget how it came up. It came up because we talked on the phone a couple of times, and I think he said something off the cuff. Oh, this is how it came up because I was like, "Oh, what's the last book that you read?" Because we were talking about reading. He's like,
the
"Actu-
Bible.
Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he
God damn
did. He's like, actually, I've been going back and rereading the Bible, and I was like,
which actually no shade because it's a very difficult, dense book to read.
and
I think that there are people who are non-religious who read the
and
Bible
that's
as
honestly
like
what I thought at first. I was like, well,
an
I mean,
intellectual
there's some
exercise.
good stories in there, I guess. And then it led us into the thing, and I was like, oh, so you like believing God? And he laughed, and he's like, yeah, I do. And he's like, is that a problem or something? I was like, no, I mean, are you going to want to talk to like an inveterate heathen like myself? I'm like, I don't. And it led to this really interesting, well thought out conversation.
I mean, it
where he
sounds like
wasn't.
it's not-
yeah, it was like,
well, then I'd meet him. I
Yeah.
mean, see, I just proceed with caution
Right.
because I just
that's an important thing. For
I mean, and
people.
here's the thing:
Like,
as someone who
And I would ask him, how important is it to you?
yeah,
because if it is really important,
Yeah.
when people
that's a
well,
deal breaker if it
because
is.
when people try to convert you in general. Now there are some people who do it who are just trash humans, but like in general, when people try to convert you, it's because they truly believe if you really loved someone and you believed that they were going to hell, really, like if that's really what you believed, then you are doing the right thing by trying to get them to believe because like you love them and you don't want them to go to hell. Like truly, like that's so it's not, I
get the sense that he believes in God, but isn't religious.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a different situation.
Where I'm like, I don't feel like he thinks like people go to hell or whatever.
That's different then.
That is.
Okay.
Different.
I think that's a completely different situation then.
Yeah. But I don't know. I was just like, I got to talk to the girls about this because this is a new sitch.
Yeah, I think meet him because you don't know. I think spirituality is a spectrum.
Yeah,
and you can fall anywhere on it, and it really depends on where he falls in relation to where you fall.
I mean, intellectually, it was kind of fun to like debate somebody on the other side who wasn't like, not knowledgeable or whatever.
Or not aggressive.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a nice debate.
Conversion therapy
or something. He's wrong, but...
Wow.
Not that I know of, but... But yeah, so that's what's going
interesting.
on.
Update us on that. I'm interested to know.
Okay.
Like, I do believe it can work. I mean, there are people on opposite sides of all kinds of spectrums that make it work.
Right. I'll show you the video I showed Cass on our break.
Okay.
Or whatever. Okay. I was like, I kind of want to meet this person.
Yeah, he seems super funny.
So funny.
And I do want to put the asterisk kind of disclaimer that like we have the belief of like believe what you want. You know, like nobody here is like believe what you want, believe what makes you happy.
Right.
It's just an interesting question of like how different is too different.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I wanted to know. Whereas like what like core beliefs do you draw the line on, And for me, like religion or spirituality, it's so personal, I think too, that I don't really have a line.
It's just a worldview. Like it's no different than me being like there are certain political beliefs that are hard no's, like that are just like hard lines that I don't think I could get past because we see differently.
Right. Yeah. If
our worldview is different on this.
Someone's like, you know what? Like I just hate black people. Like,
wow. Why are you dating me in the first place? That's first of all, they're like, no, everyone but you. You're fine.
But you're fine.
Thank you.
But you're only half black, so. I like mulattoes.
Well, I'm gonna have to see you to the door, sir.
Yeah. This is My Worst Date podcast.
Right after that, huh?
Yeah. I'm Christina.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Cassie. So we also got something funny on our page. I don't know if we've talked about this before, but one of our listeners posted this thing that says 1/3 of women admit to going on a date for a free meal. I think that seems fucking high.
Dude, where are people going to eat? Who's getting meals at all? And how do I sign up for that? Because I legitimately barely get drinks paid for. So I want to know how I can upgrade to food. So if that 1/3 of women could actually contact me at myworstdatepodcast@gmail.com, how do I get food out of this deal?
I actually don't think
most of the time I'm paying for drinks, for my own drinks. I haven't upgraded to make it to like a date.
Christina,
where I'm getting
I just feel like you need to have a certain kind of attitude. I feel like there are some women who just walk in being like,
pay for my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think 1/3 actually sounds. Wait, hold on. Is it 1/3 of 1/3 of women admit
of an
to
actual
ever
woman
having done it?
Admit to doing it,
or
like saying basically that they have like a
up
in their phone that's like a dinner date,
a sugar daddy,
like,
but literally just for food.
Basically, I read a snippet of the article and it was just like they were like saying that you have people who you'll call on who you're not necessarily interested in any other way except to go on dates with them. I can never. I don't even believe that. I'm like,
I don't believe that.
I think I do believe it. I mean, well, here's the thing. I believe that 1/3 of women have done it. Now, I don't know that I believe that 1/3 of women do it consistently. Yeah. But because I've known a lot of poor college students who definitely did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I knew girls in college who did that.
It seems like a young person.
No, I didn't do it either, but I definitely knew girls who did it.
Yeah.
It seems like a high number, though. I'm just going to say it. Like, that feels high to me.
And I would never keep going on dates with someone for free food. That's so awkward to me.
No. See, that's
awful.
the part of it that I don't
weird,
believe.
right?
Like, I believe that people probably have gotten on Tinder, gone on a date with
Have
a
you ever done
stranger.
it?
No, me? No, I haven't.
I haven't either. We're
No.
literally three of us in this room. Not one
Right,
of us has.
but I've had like I could probably count on two hands the number of people I've ever dated. So like that doesn't really mean anything. But I do know people who would match with people, go on a date with them.
I mean, I did marry my husband because he can cook. Does that count?
Yeah.
But I don't know anyone who continued to go out with one person over and over for that purpose.
For free.
No.
Oh, that's
I don't know.
terrible.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know anybody
awful.
who's done that.
I don't
Yeah.
either. It just seems so weird to me. I'm like, this statistic seems really skewed.
Yeah.
If that's what they mean, then
But
I agree
see,
with you. I
that's-
think that's not true.
That's the thing. For me, I'm like, if someone likes me and I don't like them, I always like run away. That's like, ugh. If someone likes me, period.
Some people have a high tolerance
cannot.
for bullshit if they're getting something out of it.
Ugh,
Yes.
I
Like they
can't.
do. I'm in a group on Facebook, and this group's a little shady, but I've been in it as a bystander for years now. I'd never post in there, but every now and again you just check it to see like what the tea is, and it's just women, and there's a large group of women in there who sugar baby on purpose, like like that's they have arrangements with.
Sure.
But that's, I guess, a little
that's an
different
arrangement,
because it's an
though,
arrangement.
And the guy knows what
Yeah.
he's getting into. He knows he's a sugar daddy. Like, I think that's a different thing. And there's guys who are like fucking all about that. They
It's
want
true.
somebody to pamper, take care of, feel important to, and
Yeah.
spending money on them is what they feel.
But I
you know
brought
what?
it.
It's about-
I brought it up because Christina was saying how like if she's not into someone, she's
Sure.
like, ugh. She's like, that's where her line is. She can't tolerate it. But people who are in a transactional relationship,
they are into that.
But they have a high tolerance for being around someone that they're not necessarily into because it's a transactional relationship that they're getting something
Right.
out of.
Maybe, yeah.
Which I don't. Yeah.
I don't have anything negative to say about that. It is transactional.
No, if it's
100%.
No,
And I think that there's
if it's on both sides, that's
Yeah.
something that's
Right.
different.
I agree.
Instead of like leading
Leading
someone
someone on.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
bums me out.
I mean, going out with a guy who's like, just generally like, I want to take you to dinner. I enjoy doing this. I don't expect anything out of it. That's transactional to me as well. And you can just enjoy someone's company and enjoy like going to dinner without expectations. I'm not saying you can't. Like, I just to do it for that reason feels weird. And
Yeah.
like you're saying, if the other party doesn't know, that's like,
yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Huh. But otherwise, I think at sugar daddy, sugar baby situations, you know what? Girl, you do you.
Oh, I never
If
have
you
any.
can.
I don't have
No.
any problem with any of that
Yeah.
stuff. To be honest, I mean, most types of sex work, as long as it's a transactional, consensual arrangement, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's whatever. Like you guys decide to do whatever you want to do. Like that doesn't matter to me.
And that doesn't always mean that sex is involved either. I think it's also to understanding how people accept and receive love. You know what I mean? Some people want to, like I said, I think there's probably guys out there who are like, I just want to take care of somebody. Like I want to feel, it makes me feel important. It makes me feel
Right.
away. It makes me feel good to be able to have this woman who counts on me, relies on
Sure.
me financially or whatever.
Yeah.
And it might be a turn on for them. Whereas,
Sure. I mean, the number of girls, again, like that I knew who would do that kind of thing, go out on dates to eat. One, it was never a habitual thing where they would call the same person over and over. It was like finding someone on Tinder to go on a date with. And two, I think we need to ask a deeper question of why young people in this country are so fucking poor when they're in
Girl.
college.
Yep.
That they feel like they have to do that to
Preach
get a
it.
meal.
Yes.
Because it was
No
actually something
shit.
that I had read about a long time ago that was really common that women did in like the 20s and 30s because the economy was so fucking bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they would go on dates with men like
wow.
to eat.
So this goes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying it's right.
Do you
I'm
think
just
we're
saying.
heading into recession? Because
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Did we talk about this just 2 days ago when you recorded before? 'Cause
No.
I feel like we already had this conversation.
Did we? I don't remember.
But, anyway,
Yeah.
it does. I feel it.
Yeah.
I was saying like small cities, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, yes, you did say that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be coming out the day before 4th of July.
Yes.
So I actually just re-listened to the episode where we fuck, marry, killed the presidents.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I really kind of want to do a round 2.
Yes.
I'm down.
Yes.
I'm open to it.
Yes.
Awesome. So last time we did FDR and Lincoln
And Kennedy.
the hot presidents.
Yeah. Oh shit.
So I think we need to pick other presidents.
Oy vey.
Anybody that you have like something about.
Wait, like something that we're like
who was
into?
president when you were
Something that
born?
we're into.
Who was
Oh
the
my gosh.
president when you were born?
Mhm.
Oh.
Mine is
no.
Reagan.
Carter.
I think we're like bam, bam, bam. Because I
Yeah.
think mine was
He's your
George
Clint-
Senior.
Oh
Ooh,
my God.
HW.
Yeah, I
No,
think mine was
thank
HW.
you.
Let me make sure.
Oh my God. This is so. We should do that. That'd be so funny.
The ones when
Carter.
we were
Oh, I
born.
got Carter.
Yeah, Carter's a saint.
God,
that man
yeah,
is like
no.
man is like 120 right now, still building houses for the homeless.
Okay, yeah. So if are we gonna do presidents when we were born?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
then mine is George H.W. Bush.
Oh,
Okay.
not
Ooh,
gonna do it.
Yikes.
All right.
Oh, but yours is Reagan.
Ugh.
Mine is Reagan.
Okay, I've got mine then.
But did you see actor Reagan back in the day?
Ugh.
I can't forgive him for the AIDS crisis again.
I know. But was that him or was he already Alzheimer's back?
Oh, no.
He's-
Wait,
Mm-mm.
George is the not gonna do it. Wouldn't
Not
be
gonna
pretty.
do
No,
it.
that's
That-
Ross Perot. I thought that
Oh,
first, but
yeah.
he's the one that's like, read my lips, no new
New
taxes.
taxes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
gross. Oh, gross.
Read
And
my
also
lips.
he raised W and Jeb. So keep that in mind
Everybody's looking good these days, though.
in comparison. No shit.
So let's do this thing. I'll
This
go
is a
first.
fun show.
Well, we're all gonna marry Carter.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
gonna
think
be
we just need to put
Carter.
that on the table. Yeah.
Yes,
That's gonna be the
that's
easy
a
one.
no fucking brainer.
That was a good man. He put solar panels on the White House. Like,
yeah.
sir.
And I'm proud to be an American.
Yeah, Carter's definitely the best of them. So now
Yes.
now it comes between whether you're gonna fuck HW or Reagan.
And I really think it's going to come down to the thing that I did with Seinfeld. Like, who do I think will be done faster?
HW is going to be done faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just get it over with.
Reagan was a heartthrob for a period of time, so he probably built some
He'd
stamina up.
probably like feel bad the whole time and cry and be like, I miss Nancy.
I
know?
feel bad.
I
Yeah.
feel real bad about this.
Yeah, there's just something. Even though he was like a heartthrob back in the 40s or whatever, there's
Can't
just
see it.
something gross about Reagan.
Reagan, I mean,
then.
I think Reagan was attractive when he was an actor. Like physically, I'm like, yeah, he was a good-looking
Yeah.
man in that, like, I was in Westerns in the 1940s kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get that. But there's something, I don't know. I think the problem with like Reagan and George H.W. is that I feel like they're both a little spineless. Where I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's
George
also
H.W. would be like fucking a jellyfish.
That's
oh my God. That's, I was just thinking, is he going to get
God.
all the way hard? Or is it going to be like,
Oh my!
You're going to have to fold it in half.
That is the literal worst when someone is just wet noodle down there. Where I'm just like, just finger me. Come on.
Oh,
My
no.
stomach just turned.
Guys.
It is the worst.
We're going to offend so many people. I'm sorry.
I
Because some
know.
people
How-
are real. Some
how
people
many-
are real
how many
diehard Reagan
people
fans. They really
Did
are.
we literally just
Oh,
turn the
God, you're
fuck off
right.
at the
They're
very
like, we're out.
first half of this
you
episode?
are right. Oh, no.
We're talking about God and the
Talking about
AIDS
religion.
crisis.
We're talking about presidents.
Happy 4th of July.
oh, man. All right.
I feel like I should just shut the fuck up. at this
Marrying
point.
Carter, I'm going to. I think I'm going to fuck Reagan because.
Can't get that image out of your head,
I
can you?
couldn't now.
Yeah.
Now that it was a half wet noodle, I got
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's okay. None of us want to do this. It's
Yeah.
we're making sacrifices for our country today. That's what's
Right.
happening.
4th of July is my anniversary too, guys.
Oh
so-
yeah.
yes, it is.
My cousin's
Happy
getting married
anniversary.
on the 4th. I'm going to be gone for her wedding. So you guys are going to
Oh,
be
that's right. That's
you
why
guys are
you're
going to
leaving.
be wedding date buddies.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck Reagan too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Yeah, I can't do it with HW. There's just something.
He seems asexual. Like there's something very non-sexual about
definitely
him.
refers to Barbara as mother.
Oh,
you know what I
God.
mean? And I just can't. I can't for that. My vagina is closed and sealed shut for that kind of thing.
Oh God!
Do not call me mother. That's so weird and gross. It's so weird and gross.
Guys, this for me, I feel like this is the hardest.
Well, you bring up a good point.
Yeah,
here.
I know. You just kind of made it turn around for me.
Turn it around because I want to go back. I want to look up what HW looked like back in the 40s.
Was he ever hot?
Ooh.
All right, let's find out.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it right now because I kind of feel like he's one of those they're in
hot.
Texas, but is he from? He's got like that FDR vibe or something to him where I'm just like maybe he actually has.
Okay,
He's all right.
all right.
He's not bad.
Oh my God, he looks like
He's
my dad here.
real fucking tall and lanky though.
Okay.
Lord.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Oh my God. Oh my God, how cute.
Okay, now look up
And he was
young
like
Reagan.
He was like a
Okay,
pilot.
look,
He was also a pilot.
Ooh, a pilot.
Which-
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not mad. I'm not gonna lie. I know. I
He's
get
got
it.
a little bit of a Mr. Rogers vibe happening.
Ugh.
He looks
He's
kind
cute.
of intellectual.
That's W.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it says HW.
No, George W.
It says George HW.
Mine doesn't.
Whoa, young George HW. That's weird.
Yeah,
my sister
he's not bad looking. He was in the Navy.
Went to
Look
Yale.
at fucking Barbara.
Holy
hottie.
shit.
Well, I mean, and
Damn, girl.
HW and Barbara had like this insane
Love
love affair where
I know, I love
they
it.
wrote to each other like every
Alright, I'm
day while
changing
he
it.
was.
I'm fucking HW. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
changing it.
wrote to each other like every day.
It's cute. They're
Yeah,
cute. All right,
yeah.
I'm changing it. You're
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I've changed it.
Oh my god!
Are we all gonna
Look
be on the
how
same page?
Beautiful. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. I think so. I'm looking at old Navy pictures. Like
Yeah.
what?
Like, hey.
hey.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna fuck HW
Yep.
and
But we're gonna build a time machine first.
Yes. when
Yeah,
we actually have to do this.
Yes. When
mhm.
the
We're gonna make-
logistics.
we're gonna make a Wayback
Yeah.
Machine.
A Wayback Machine.
Yes. Okay. Yeah,
hop,
and
hop in the old way back.
And granted, listen, I don't want to come. I mean, I do, but I don't want to come down too hard on Reagan because, like, literally every president has made
Oh
like
my God. Exactly.
horrendous mistakes that led to the deaths of like
A ton
thousands of people.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can't say that like. I don't want to like come down too hard on Reagan. I think it's just because I just did an episode on this and it's very fresh in my mind on my
Right.
research about like the AIDS crisis. So that's all.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna fuck HW. Gonna kill Reagan.
Okay.
There we go.
I think we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
But now I want to look up who I married. I want to look
Carter?
up
Young Carter?
Young Carter.
Ooh, young Carter. Oh, I bet he was hot back in the day.
I bet he was high.
Yeah. I bet he was good looking. Look at us.
I know. This is phenomenal. I can't wait. And you got to put the young pictures up
Yeah.
when you do the 3.
Okay.
He's okay. He's actually not as hot as I was expecting.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I like this photo though.
That's the one I have.
I
I'll
like
look at the other one.
this. Oh, I like
He looks
him.
so serious. Oh my
He
God.
does.
Look at him and Rosalind. Oh my God. They're
Yeah.
so pretty. She's. Oh my God.
She's way prettier than he
fucking
deserves.
So cute.
Oh, I like this picture of him.
Oh.
Which
He's
one?
cute here.
Yeah. Okay, well, young Reagan.
Mr.
since we-
Carter.
All right.
All right. Think
Well,
we did
yeah. I
this.
mean, President Carter is just like this is why he wasn't a great president is because he's like a genuinely good
person. Yeah.
No, I mean it makes it
But
hard
for real.
to be a good president whenever you're such a good human being.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I would marry him for sure.
Yeah.
Pretty good looking, guys.
Yeah.
Pretty
He's
good
handsome.
looking.
That looks like Reagan.
It
Does-
is young Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Young Reagan was good looking.
Yeah.
He was good looking.
But
I'm sticking with my
sticking it.
answer.
We're
I'm
sticking
sticking
our
with it.
guns.
I feel like we should have chose different presidents.
Well, round 3, we'll get back to it. We've got 45 to go through. So on round 2,
I'm just scared because people have real strong opinions about Reagan.
It's true.
Fucking love him.
yeah.
People love him.
Well, sorry for you. The world, it keeps it changing. Well, should we take 5 and come back with stories?
Yes.
Oh.
And we're back. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I was like clearing my throat because on the entire like 8-hour drive up to NorCal, we were just screaming at the top of our lungs, like singing, you know, like how it gets that way, especially like, you know, Anthony doesn't ever let me drive, so I feel like I need to like stay awake to keep him like hyped, you know, like I can't sleep because I'm like,
I get narcolepsy, so I'm like,
you know,
Me too.
crash out.
The only
Anything
way-
like plane, car.
I always want to sleep, but I feel like guilty if I sleep,
Yeah.
you know, so the only way to stay awake is to just literally scream, sing at the top of your lungs all the way there and back. So my voice is kind of going. Okay. You want to start us off?
Yes,
Cassie?
I'll go first. I can't decide, like literally with my glasses on or off. It's equally blind to me.
Oh, no.
It's just really small.
Do you
for
need
me.
a new prescription?
I do.
So do
Yeah,
I.
100%.
Yeah.
Actually, my old glasses work better than my current ones. It's really weird.
Interesting.
I know. I should probably just go grab those. But anyway,
Off,
but I
off
can
topic,
read
do you guys
normal.
have a good eye doctor that you go to here?
Yeah. Where Chris used to work in, it's in Brentwood,
Okay. So
which should still be fairly close.
am long overdue. My last eye appointment, I think I was 16,
Holy
and I have like
shit.
eye problems.
Dude, she's
so-
really good
Oh,
too. You'll
girl.
like her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I-
have got to go get your eyes checked.
Yeah.
No shit.
I have her information. I'll give it to you.
Okay,
All right.
cool.
Anyway. So this one is a story that I got from Reddit. She says, basically, this guy seemed really normal. We had mutual Facebook friends from the same suburb. He had his own company, etc. Typical guy. We met up at the shops to look at a few things, go to the movies. Looks nothing like his photo. Yep. Photoshopped muscles and height.
No.
Ew.
Okay.
No.
Hold
Oh my
on.
God.
Time out. We need to
how
time out.
good is he at Photoshop where
Yeah.
you didn't notice? Because I swipe left like a
Yeah.
motherfucker faster than anything.
With
When
the
guys
Facetune.
even have the
Oh, yeah.
Facetune on it. Because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just like,
Yeah, no, sir.
no.
How do you Photoshop muscles in a way? Like, does he have a degree in graphic design? Like,
Stretch.
yeah, no way.
Well, apparently he wasn't this guy in real life, though. The whole time he's talking about how rich he is and how I'll never have to work another day again.
Ew.
In the Tesla store, he just decides to buy a brand new Tesla.
Wait,
Wait,
hold on.
just
I'm sorry.
because-
We need to
wait,
stop right
wait.
now.
What?
Hold on.
Who-
Did you say they were in a Tesla store?
Yes.
Did I miss that?
No, they were shopping. They were at shops.
They were at a mall.
At a mall.
And he's like, hold on.
Let's
this
pop into
isn't-
this Tesla store.
Also, how long does it take to buy a fucking car? First
I'm
of all.
not
fucking long.
out.
Too
Too
long.
long for a first date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secondly, how badly are you trying to impress somebody that
Yeah.
you buy a
I got a plane.
Tesla?
I got a plane.
Oh,
I got a plane. Oh no, no! I don't like that. I just feel like
I don't
that's,
like
it.
that
Just
at
comes off as
all.
like so
Also,
fucking desperate.
just decides to buy a Tesla. Like you
Right.
said, dude, that's like a fucking day's worth of project.
Yes.
Anything.
yeah, no one impulse buys a car. No.
Well, apparently he did because he, in quotes, wanted to change, then joked about how rich he was. I thought I was being set up. Throughout the date, he also made racist jokes and jokes about homelessness.
What?
I decided I didn't want to see the movie.
Yeah.
He asked me to drive him home, question mark.
Did you not just buy a
Yeah.
fucking
Hello.
car?
Thank
You
you.
can't afford to take an Uber X.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Then he asks me then he asks if we want to hang out at the park. He asked me if I wanted to go out to his best friend's engagement party that same night. I told him I'd think about it. He then told me all about how his ex was a psycho, about how I'm uglier in person than he thought he thought my lips would be bigger than they are. Then he stuck his entire hand through a tiny rip in my jeans and told me how sex has to be a minimum of 2 hours before he can come.
Oh my God. You literally, I don't even know how to unpack the barrage of fuckery that you just threw at me.
There's still more.
Oh
okay.
my God.
Yeah, but I mean, all right.
But it literally just goes to the worst nightmare. He then told me his entire family was waiting at his house, and if I wanted to come in, I dropped him off at the end of the street, and he basically begged me to come meet his family. Then he asked me again if I wanted to go to this engagement party. Then he texted me about it again. Abort mission.
Yeah.
Blocked. Why me? Oh my God. What the fuck?
This is a fucking nightmare.
What in the fuck?
You know what? That might be my worst date.
It literally was.
That
literally
person
was.
might be the worst person in the
It
world.
was like if you could pull like a barrage of things to happen on a bad date and put them all in one, spun it, and then pulled them out.
Yes.
You're like, there it is.
Okay, let's count them. All right.
Yeah,
You've got
Impulse,
Photoshop.
Yeah,
You've got Photoshop
which
off the
is
top.
so cheesy to
You
me.
know?
I fucking hate that.
You've got bragging about how much money you have.
Ugh, gauche.
You've got racism.
Yeah.
The worst.
You've got trying to introduce you to your friends too fast.
And family.
and family.
Trying to introduce you to your family too fast.
Yep.
Negging you.
Yep.
Telling you you're ugly.
Yeah.
Saying that he takes 2 hours to fucking come, like that's an achievement or something you should be like excited
the
about.
fuck out of here.
Dude, who
Like,
has-
I'm sorry, who has
No
two?
thanks.
Who are you? Sting? Is this tantric? Like, what are we doing?
It's
Yeah.
also,
No.
I think,
You're doing
just
it wrong
like
if
a
it's taking that long.
real common misconception that we want to go for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Anyone, show
who
of
started
hands.
that?
Who wants to fuck for 2 hours?
Not me.
Absolutely not.
Never.
Like, if,
Nobody.
honestly, half an hour is like
Too long.
plenty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like I don't know who started. Did a man start that?
Yeah, it must be because he's not the one walking around with a sore fucking vagina the next day.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that? A sore, swollen vagina is like the next day. It's the worst.
Ugh.
It's the worst.
I mean, sometimes it's the best.
like
I mean, if it's like really good and you're like,
if it's
reminder.
If it was
Good.
worth
if
it.
it's good,
Yeah,
but if
maybe.
it's someone that just jackhammered your dry
Yeah.
vag for 2 hours,
That's not worth it.
no.
You're like, I'm sorry,
We're
we're
done
gonna
here,
we're gonna
folks.
need to pause half an hour, and you're gonna need to get that
And-
KY at least for us to
Exactly.
keep
And I'm
going.
like, I got to stop by CVS. I got to get the bottle of the cranberry pills so then I don't get a fucking UTI. Because I'm just like, I know you're jackhammering away, like just doing all
mean,
kinds of wrong things up in
also,
there.
this man. So where do we stand on thinking that he's really rich?
Oh, I
Because-
don't know. He did buy a Tesla.
But he bought a Tesla. But I'm like, but he didn't
Drive it home?
Drive
I think it's weird.
himself home.
It
Like,
seems weird.
right?
It seems weird.
Was she on Punked? Was this like a
That's
Punked
what
thing?
I know.
I almost feel like with the amount of things that are so crazy, like that Ashton Kutcher was like hiding somewhere in Hot Topic, like
Yeah.
filming it or
You know
something.
what? Speaking of that, it just made me think they're bringing back.
Oh.
I think they're bringing back Next.
Yes,
That
they
TV
are.
show
They are.
Next. Do you remember
Yes.
that show?
No.
Oh, that show was the height of like
terrible.
problematic early 2000s like MTV reality
Dating
TV
show.
show, like dating show, where it was like you would have a bus full of like girls or guys, depending on, there'd be like, it's like a bachelorette situation. So there'd be
Right.
like one guy and like 5 girls sitting in a bus.
Okay.
And they would like go, the first girl would come out, they would like go on a date until the guy found something he didn't like about her. And then he'd be like, next. And she'd get
Ew.
taken away and like the next girl would come out.
It's the
And it would
worst.
go until he'd be like, no, I like you. I want to like stay on a date with you.
Ugh.
Or vice versa. Swap
Wow.
genders. But it was
Wow. No
horrible.
wonder.
And they're bringing it back.
No.
They're bringing it back.
This is why people are wearing iPods during sex or
Ugh.
AirPods. iPods. Oh,
That's
God.
exactly right.
No.
Okay.
I have a short one.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and bring it up. Okay. I got this one from Reddit. She says, this is awful. An employee of mine had just witnessed the tragic death of her boyfriend.
What?
While she was visiting him out of town. I told her to take all the time she needed and let me know when she wanted to come back. Skip to, I had a crush on this bartender forever, and he finally asked me out, and we went out to dinner at some Thai place. At the table next to us, facing me, was my employee. She had obviously recently returned to town and was out with her friends who were consoling her. Well, she and I made eye contact and smiled at each other, both not wanting to interrupt. But then we both started crying and crying and crying. And so all my date saw is that I suddenly had tears running down my face.
Oh, no.
Which continued for all of dinner.
What? Why?
The poor waiter just had a table of 4 crying women on one side, and next to them, a table with 1 crying woman. My date said nothing the entire dinner about my crying, just acted like nothing was happening. And the end of dinner, I got up to go, and she and I embraced, and we both started bawling.
No.
Then my date and I left to a bar. He never said a word about anything. I always wondered if he thought this was a normal thing.
No. your date went home and he was like,
Oh, no.
he was
He's
talking about
evaluating his life.
He literally started writing an email
he
to
wrote
us.
to us and was like, I went out on this date where this woman would not stop crying.
You know what it made me think of?
Did she not say why? Like, did
She didn't
not
say why.
explain?
This made me think of Wet Guy. This made me think of fucking Wet
where you're
Guy.
like, do you have a medical condition?
You're
where
like-
you can't stop crying.
Exactly. Where this guy is going to spend the rest of his life being like, why was this chick crying the entire date I was on with her?
I find it very odd that neither one of them brought it because I would be like,
know,
I
but
would bring it up.
that's
I'd
the
be
thing.
like, dude,
I
no matter
felt
which
this.
side of that I was on, if I was the one crying, I'd be like, I'm so sorry, I'm crying.
Let me
because, like,
explain.
let me explain.
Yeah.
Right. And if I was on a date with someone and they weren't explaining to me, I'd be like, are you okay? Can I get you some tissues? Is it me? Like, why are you
Yeah.
crying?
I don't know
going on?
why, but I kind of identify only because I never asked why Wet Guy was wet.
I feel like that's different though, because being
Yeah.
wet isn't tied to an emotional response.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
that's true.
you didn't make
Yeah.
him wet. Whereas like but
Yeah.
you didn't make him wet, Christina.
I
Goddamn.
didn't. That's why he didn't call.
Okay, all right. So this is another one from Welcome to My Show. I fucking love her emails.
I know.
She's the best.
so funny.
So she says, so I'm writing you again, which means things haven't been going well in my dating life.
Girl, same.
But that's okay. I'll gladly sacrifice my own sanity if it means I can keep contributing to your wonderful show.
I'll tell you what, we need to get drinks and swap stories.
Absolutely.
So for
Yeah.
real.
You
You
know
know
what?
what?
Make that happen.
Local.
Are
Good.
you
Yeah.
in LA? If you are in LA, hit us up because we would
Yeah.
love to do an interview with you. I think that'd be super
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
I had a date a few weeks ago, sort of. We met on Plenty of Fish, which is never the beginning of anyone's
Why?
How We
Girl,
Met story.
why?
You got to
You
delete that app.
know.
Yeah.
Unless
That's one I've never even been brave enough or bored enough to download. I'm too scared. There's too many horror stories.
I'm going to choose to believe that she is sacrificing herself deliberately for this podcast.
Oh,
That's what I'm going to decide.
like, just
fucking
for you
doll.
guys.
Just for us. Let's call this guy Dean because that's his name. I love that.
She's like,
She's
fuck
like,
you, Dean.
fuck Dean. All right.
Fuck
all
you,
right.
Dean.
Well, great.
Dean and I met online on a Friday, and he explained that he'd be out of town all weekend, so we should grab dinner sometime the following week. We set the date for Wednesday at a brewery/restaurant right near my job, which was convenient. We didn't talk much in the few days before the date, just some small talk and confirming our plans. On Wednesday, we chatted to make sure we were still on for the date, all set. I showed up a little early since I work so close by and got a table. About 10 minutes past date time, I ordered a drink and messaged him to see if he was close. This little twerp responded with, haha, no, I didn't think we were still on since we
No.
didn't talk about it very much.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
apparently, scheduling, following up, and confirming is not enough planning to lock in a date these days. Whatever, Dean. This story isn't even about you.
Wow.
Here's where it gets interesting.
Wow.
The waiter comes by and asks if I'm still waiting for someone, and I told him, actually, no, I got stood up, and I ordered a side of fries to go with my drink. He was really nice and charming and told me, no, get whatever you want off the menu, it's on me.
Oh.
Music to my ears. So I ordered a larger basket of fries, and he also generously brought me another drink. I stayed and enjoyed my food while doing a crossword puzzle on my phone. This kind waiter kept stopping by to chat and help with the crossword every time he made his rounds to his tables.
Ooh, I'm kind of
Right?
My
I'm
heart's,
like,
my heart's all
I'm a
pitter
little
patter.
team
I
waiter
know.
here.
Yeah.
Eventually, he sat down at my table
Yeah, he
and
did.
said he was taking his break so we could work on the puzzle together. How sweet.
I like this.
But then, after not even solving another word, he says, "You really should tie your hair up." Oh, I don't like that.
No,
Unsolicited advice.
sir, nobody asked you.
No.
Oh.
I thought he was making a joke about my long hair potentially dripping into my ketchup, but I soon realized he wasn't joking. He asked me a few more times to tie my hair up and said he just thinks ponytails are sexy. Okay, a little weird, but I told him I don't care about his preferences. I don't even know him, and that I specifically did my hair that morning so I'd look nice for my date. He says, "See how that worked out." Okay, asshole.
Sir.
Wow.
What?
Listen.
Wow. Yeah, he's like,
listen.
okay. He got up and said he was going to get himself a drink. He comes back a minute later and sets down a thick purple rubber band and says, "It's for your hair. It's from
Get the fuck out of here.
from the asparagus." He took the purple rubber band that
No.
comes on the
No.
asparagus bunch,
No.
and he wanted her to put her hair up so badly that he brought her vegetable
Elastic.
rubber, vegetable elastic.
And I'm sorry.
What?
Elastic that'll rip your fucking hair out.
She says, "Excuse me, does this strange man really expect me to put this dirty produce rubber band in my hair?" I firmly told him
love
no
her.
and flicked the rubber band towards him. He got up and stormed off, and I never saw him again.
Yeah,
Someone
fine.
else brought me my bill, and I was charged for both drinks and the fries because apparently he only meant it was on me if I had my hair in a ponytail. Thanks for tolerating my long stories, and sorry for my inability to summarize later, ladies.
Oh, my God.
My
Can I speak to the
God.
manager?
And
the
can
fuck
you
out of here.
like what kind of psychopath? Like I feel like that's a fetish that I have really strong beliefs about like not pulling unwilling participants into your fetish. It's why I'm
Right.
like, even though I think it's totally fine, maybe don't dog walk your boyfriend in public, because you know what? The public didn't sign
Ask
up
for
to
this.
be a part of your fucking fetish.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is his insistence on it goes beyond a preference to me. Like that's very weird.
Also, you're fucking
weird.
strangers. You're fucking strangers.
Dude, I don't
Right.
know
so
you.
weird.
Which is why I think like
You were the waiter.
there's something else
This-
happening there.
Yeah,
No.
this
And
is
I don't
so.
like
Fucking
ugh.
freak. Dude.
it. Ew. He brought her asparagus rubber bands.
Also, yeah, that's not. I mean, I don't know her hair situation, but I can't put one of those motherfuckers in my hair.
That'll rip my hair right out of my head. If I
Right.
try to take that thing out.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody can put like a real elastic
I mean,
like that in
and
there.
also like she went out looking that way on purpose. Like she made a
Get the fuck
decision.
outta here.
I don't know any person who would be like, okay.
That was the most heartless thing too of the whole story, where he was like, "Yeah, see how that worked out."
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Ugh, the worst.
What a piece
Ew,
of
gross.
shit. Oh, well, are you guys ready for my crazy in love?
I am
My
so
pages
fucking
of
ready.
pages of
God.
handwritten
Oh,
notes.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so I already kind of gave you the sneaky peek, but I will tell the listeners that Christina did a story couple episodes ago, and it was a double header, and one of the double headers was a guy who'd written in. The second story was the murder story, and he's like, I went out on a date with a girl, and she was
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
and
that's
he
right.
mentioned that girl had a story on Snap. So I'm like, I'm going to check it out. And I'm going to share that story. with you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this one's for
So-
you. Alan. Is Alan.
It was, oh, is that his name?
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah, he's on our
Sorry.
Facebook group.
Yeah, this one's
Shout
for you,
out.
Sir,
Alan.
dodged a heel.
Yes.
Wow. I would have said dodged a bullet, but
You'll get it.
yikes.
Yes.
So this story is about Ana Trujillo. On June 9th, 2013, a 911 call comes in from an Ana Trujillo claiming that her boyfriend had attacked her but needed an ambulance. She thought he was dying. Officers responded, arriving at this hip downtown Houston high-rise in the museum district, the condo home of Stefan Anderson. Anna answers the door. She's covered in blood, and when they arrive, they find Anderson dead on the floor in a pool of his own blood.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Stefan was a Swedish transplant working at the University of Houston as a research professor. People who talk about him said he was one of the sweetest guys, very like just very cool, calm, relaxed, very sweet guy, tons of friends. Ana was raised in Waco, Texas. She was originally born in Mexico. I'd heard stories a couple different ways. On the Snapped episode, they said she was raised in Waco. I read other places that she, I think, mainly kind of landed in Waco, but had been like kind of
Moved around a bunch?
Yeah, moved around a bunch. So at any rate, in December of 1990, she was married, had 2 children. She was supporting her family, but the relationship soon fell apart. He kind of was like, from what they have said, was kind of like a deadbeat. She did all the work. She was doing everything, and she got fed up. After divorcing, she meets her second husband, and they moved to Houston. After 4 years, this relationship dissolved as well, and Ana was ready to start her new life as her new kind of single life, right? Like out in the streets.
She's
like,
ready to get her groove back.
She's like, yeah,
I got it.
She's
Cool,
like,
cool.
Ana got her groove back. Exactly.
I'm on board with that.
She quickly
So
became,
far.
yeah. Don't get too excited. Yeah. She became a kind of a fixture in the local downtown bar scene. But in 2008, she did get her first DUI charge, which ended up in the long term being dismissed.
Where is this? Sorry.
Houston.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in 2010, she got her second DUI charge. So we're kind of building a little bit of a history on her party girl patterns.
Yeah.
She had gone to, she had a lot of different careers. She started out working as an executive with Coca-Cola, and she was doing a lot of stuff with them at the Waco plants. Then when she moved, she'd started a couple other careers and kind of landed on being a massage therapist, going to massage therapy school, and landed on that as her career. She kind of had this fledgling business that was not really doing that great, and had started dating a lot of older men, and was playing a little bit of bed hopping, not really kind of having her own place to stay. It was kind of like,
Where are her kids?
I think their kids are like older now.
Okay.
And one of them, it did say that her youngest had decided to go move back to Waco to live with her dad. So
She was like, Mom's partying too hard.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going home.
I do believe that they were quite a bit older at this time, though.
Okay.
So I think that they were, after both marriages were close.
They're
to
a little
grown-
bit more
close to grown.
self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
She was doing a bit of a bed hopping game, kind of landing wherever she could get these rich older guys to help her, and were like helping fund her in housing, helping her fund her business, and she's just being a little bit of a player, going out and getting hers. And
Okay.
yeah, she was dating around, and again, kind of a fixture on that downtown Houston bar scene.
Again, that
and,
aspect of it, I'm like, all right,
I mean,
you do you.
Anna, when she was like, I'm gonna get my groove back, she meant it.
Yeah.
She was like,
She's all in.
she was like, boys beware. Then Ana met Stefan in the summer of 2010. They started an on-again, off-again relationship, and Ana had stayed with him in his condo home. So she kind of transplanted herself into his life, quite literally. And
She's like, I live here now.
she's like, and this is my condo too.
Hope you don't mind. I made a copy of your key while you were at work. Is that all right?
Condo is mine's now.
Mine's now.
This is my side of the bed.
He's like, oh, dear.
Dude, that is literally my nightmare. The amount of time it took me to have it be okay to have someone stay the night.
Yeah.
There's only one person that's done that. And that took a while. And I'm like, it's literally, that's to me like someone
That's a big deal.
is staying the night and then not leaving.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, that makes my skin crawl.
You-
I'm
you
going to go
hear
home and have
those-
nightmares about that.
I don't think it was like a one night stand and she
Right,
moved in.
no.
I do believe that this was also a mutual arrangement where
I
he
think
was happy to have
That
her.
makes a more compelling story for us. I
For
like
sure.
the idea of her just being like, I
First
live
night.
here now.
Yeah.
Like she was like one of those people you always see in TV shows where they're like, yeah, then she had a drawer, and then I just noticed that she started leaving more and more of her stuff in my apartment, and then now we live together. Like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. No, I'm not saying it didn't happen that way. It's just not that.
He was just like, well, okay, I guess.
I mean, they didn't portray it one way or the other necessarily.
Stefan has a real fear of confrontation.
Yeah, he's like, I just didn't want to tell her to leave. So
honestly, you're like, oh, okay, this is fine.
This is fine.
All right. Anyway, Anna was getting a reputation as a bit of a violent drunk. Stefan had also had a bit of a drinking problem as well. But he was always this kind, again, described kind of as mild-mannered, extremely, mild-mannered guy. Like, not somebody who
have you guys ever met
feathers.
Anybody who's like, because we all have our drunks. We've talked about this. Different alcohols bring out different type, and certain people are just certain ways when they drink.
Right.
Have you ever met someone who is like a really nice person, but like when they drink, they're like angry?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
my
angry
dad.
drunks? Really?
Are you fucking kidding me? My dad broke our phone because my mom wanted to call our pastor. Yeah.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah. No, I lived in that house. Yeah. So yes,
it's
I do know.
like I just think that that's interesting that like some people are just like they're
It's
like
like
perfectly nice people,
Snap.
and then some people are like really happy drunks.
Yeah.
Like maybe Stefan was like a really nice drunk, and she's like
she was
mad
not maybe.
one.
Yeah. By 2013, friends of Stefan say he is ready to officially end their relationship. Because they really had a bit of a tumultuous on again, off again relationship. Their relationship really was them going out to the bars pretty much every night, and their relationship pretty much consisted of them being in the bar situation, right? Like drinking alcohol together. So that. You know what I mean? Like you build a relationship around that. It's not at some point that fizzles out real quick and it gets old.
Right. Yeah.
And even if you're both drinking, one being a happy drunk, one being a mean drunk, after a while, that shit you can't sustain it.
Yeah.
You just can't.
No.
And
No.
for him, they said that he sends her on a trip to Mexico because he's like, I'm ready to end this relationship. And he bans her from his building privileges and takes her key. And then again, like I said, sends her on a vacation to Mexico to get distance from her while he goes through rehab. So he's like, I got to get my drinking in order. He's like, I have a problem, as well as I need to get some distance between us.
That's how bad the relationship was.
Yeah.
When you're like, you know what? Like, I got to get my shit together.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to rehab in part to get away from you.
This
Sydney
relationship
to
is
Mexico.
so bad.
Yeah.
That like
I need to
it's
stop
made
drinking.
I need to stop drinking. This is a
way-
wake up call.
Yeah, but I mean, good on him for like knowing that he needs to get his life together. Also, like, end the fucking relationship. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Clearly, you recognize that it's super unhealthy, and like you
he
going
does
to
end the relationship.
Oh,
That's
he
what I'm
did end it.
Yeah.
He
He's
ends the
like
relationship.
sends her
Oh,
to
okay,
Mexico.
all right.
bans her from the building and takes her key
I
away.
see,
Sends
okay.
her to Mexico so he can like separate himself while he's going through.
How do you send somebody to Mexico?
You pay for a trip. You buy them tickets and you.
So, did she know that the relationship was done, or was
Or
he
was
like,
he just like, I'm just
sweetheart, like here's a
got
trip
you
to
a
Mexico,
present.
Yeah,
and then
can I take your key? I'm gonna have your key.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna polish it
I'm
while you're
gonna
gone.
polish. I'm gonna put a little fob on it. It's cute.
That's what's confusing me is like
No.
he sent her to Mexico. I don't.
on a vacation.
Yeah. So does she know that the
Yeah.
relationship's over?
Yes, they've ended their relationship.
Oh, okay. But she's like, okay, well, I'll take this free vacation though.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
I
there you go.
read too many romantic novels to make that not weird.
Oh, yeah. No,
That
it's,
would be
it's kinda
weird to me. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Like, yeah,
Totally
if
weird.
if someone broke up with me and they were like, but
Here's a free vacation.
yeah, I'd
Yeah,
be like,
it's
I feel
weird.
like you're sending me mixed signals, and so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on this trip, and then we're gonna get back together when I come back.
Yeah.
It's like that's, you know,
But
yeah.
but he does ban her from his building and takes her key.
Okay.
So I mean, he's like, we need to separate. We need some space between us. You're upset. I'm gonna send you to visit your family in Mexico. Why is this so fucking weird?
I don't know. I think
weird.
that's really
Okay, cool.
weird.
Yeah,
I do.
but
I'm like,
yeah,
because
I'm like-
I'm gonna. If a guy told me like, you're fucking toxic. I'm banning you from my building. I never want to see you again. But here's an
a free
expensive
vacation?
gift. It's like a breakup gift. It's like the ring.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where I'm just like, why are you giving her a breakup gift?
Maybe
It's
I
weird.
travel too much for it to be exciting.
It's expensive.
I'm all like, psh.
I don't know. If
Yeah.
I think
someone,
she had family there is why. It's not like she was just going on like a fun beach trip to Puerto Vallarta. Like she was going to like visit family in Mexico.
That he still like paid for, though.
Yeah, but she doesn't have any fucking money.
Okay.
it's not
I don't
my
know.
problem.
All right, well, you guys are gonna have to get over it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Back on board.
So that happened,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not, and that is when the mixed signals happen because she comes back and he immediately starts to allow her to stay with him again.
Yeah.
And
Like you said, Keegan, you're like, this is weird. But
on
when
occasion,
I come back,
on occasion,
No, but that's
on occasion.
all right. So
not all the time.
So
On
he has
occasion.
problems with boundaries.
Yeah.
Because like you, that was not a clean break.
he
in
is.
any
He
way.
is. He's conflict avoided,
But
where
you
he doesn't
can't
like
ban-
confrontation, and he's like, "Don't be mad at me. Give me your key. Here's a free vacation.
I'm going to tell the
but give me your
doorman
key."
not to let you in.
Exactly.
But
No
also, if you
privileges.
need a place to stay,
You're not going to be able to park
here.
in the building.
my door's open though.
No.
If you need,
You're at street parking, but
But, you
but
can
also
stay tonight.
open door policy.
tonight,
Just tonight.
just
And
tonight.
tomorrow.
Don't be mad.
You're banned, but also an open door policy. Cool, cool.
As long as we're on the same page, it's fine.
We got it.
Cool. All right. So again, he's letting her stay with him occasionally.
Yeah.
Because that rehab didn't last very long.
Yeah.
And he did start drinking again. So
Yeah.
they were hanging out and at the bar and they're together but not together.
Got-
So
he got
she's
into
talking to
old
other
habits.
guys.
I get it.
You can see the video footage. There's like a CCTV footage of like them at the bar the night of this incident, and she's talking to other guys, and it seems very casual. Like he doesn't seem upset by it.
Mm-hmm.
There is a video when she's sitting at the bar. He comes in to like, hey, cab's here kind of situation. Like no one seems angry, no one seems upset. It's
Right.
just kind of like
Business as usual.
yeah, it's not a big
All
deal.
right.
So on one such occasion like this where they are spending the evening together, like I said, this is June 9th, they had been out drinking a local bar, drinking tequila shooters and wine, their usual suspects.
That's why they're so
The
angry. You can't
biggest-
combine tequila and wine.
Yeah. That's like a fucking Molotov cocktail
That is a
right there.
horrifying drinking combination.
You're burning it all down. Because in tequila and wine, for me, you have violent anger and condescension. So you are literally like, you are combining the two like worst fucking traits.
burning that candle at both ends.
Both.
Here we
ends.
go.
It makes me think of that little girl meme where there's that fire in the background where I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
everything's burning.
I think that's an interesting conversation. It's like, what's your mix of alcohol?
That's a
where it's
deadly
like,
mix. Tequila and wine. Come on, you cannot think of one that's worse than that.
I'm a happy drunk, but you can't.
am
There are
too.
certain combinations that I'm just like, I wouldn't
Wine
test
is my
it.
happy drunk. Always.
Wine feels good.
Wine always is good for me.
Yeah.
Wine. Just,
Wow.
Wine.
Whoa, is it not?
Not, no,
Like,
not
are
you.
trying to say
not
something?
you. I'm just trying to say. I was gonna say
I've been
like
drinking tequila.
almost any alcohol. If I'm drinking just that is fine. It's
Yeah.
when you start getting into this like I'm gonna play chemist and let's just pour everything into a glass and see what happens.
You're like,
You
call
know?
me Marie
fine.
Curie and go fuck
Here
yourself.
we go. I'm drinking out of beakers tonight. Let's go. Like
This
no.
is fine. It's fine. Shut up. You don't know me.
You don't even
Maybe
know.
I murdered somebody at a wedding. I don't know.
I don't
Exactly.
know.
I
It's
don't even
whatever.
know. It's fine.
Okay. Anyway. Anyway, some of the witnesses at the bar that they were at did say that they had a small argument about leaving. Stefan grabs a taxi, and in the footage that I saw, like I was telling you, it didn't look rough or argumentative. I didn't see anything like he didn't grab her, she didn't grab him, she didn't seem upset. They didn't look upset. Like obviously she was talking to somebody when he came in, like, and you could tell it was like one of those coaxing situations where you're like, okay.
He was like,
Let's go.
we really can't leave our Uber. We gotta go.
taxi to the side. The taxi driver says that she was belligerent, cursing and insulting the entire drive home. Stefan was very apologetic to the driver and was so embarrassed. He apparently had she'd gone in before him into the building, and he stayed back at the car, and the taxi driver and her husband were both like, are you sure you're okay? Because she was nuts. And he was like, I'm so sorry. We've been drinking, apologizing and all that stuff. That's what the taxi driver said. Do I think that the taxi drivers, when watching them, were probably being, do I believe their story 100%? I don't know if I do. Only because like, do I think she was belligerent? Probably. Do I think that they were like, oh, something dangerous is going to happen to you. You should watch yourself. It just feels very.
No.
No.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Where they take it to extremes because of what happened.
The story.
Yeah. Where I'm like, do I believe after drinking tequila and wine that she was belligerent and crazy to a taxi driver?
Do I believe that she?
Absolutely.
Do I believe he was insulting? Yes.
And I do also believe that like. A lot of people are very good, especially if they're used to drinking and they drink a lot, at like keeping that shit in. So you wouldn't see it that she was as mad as she was on that surveillance tape. But as soon as like she was like, quote, in private, like in the taxi where she's just like, fuck you.
Right.
A lot of people are really good at that, like
totally
waiting to fight until they are alone.
I'm not good at
and
that.
she might have
we're
not
gonna fight in
wanted to
public.
seem like a psycho in front of the dude that she was like flirting with or whatever. So she's like, this is fine. She's like, give me just one more second.
You see the fire burning behind those eyes.
And then as soon as she gets in the taxi.
Yeah.
My God.
I think we
also,
probably
I kind of feel like you guys got to watch the snapped episode.
Oh, I'm down.
totally
I will.
doing
The
it.
footage is interesting to watch, but also too like, she's interesting.
I'm down to watch it for sure. But we all know that
So-
couple. Like we've all seen a couple in public who like, they're hanging on by a thread. Like you look at them and like you can just see behind one of their eyes that they're like, as soon as we get alone, I'm gonna snap.
That's always really awkward to be at like a party and you have that couple
that shit is coming, and you're like, oh.
So, apologetic, apologizes to the driver. And according to the 911 call and Anna's statement, they had gone back to the condo and had started a fight. So basically at this point, we're getting now the rest of the story is going to be based off of what Anna tells us
because one of the other people didn't make it out.
Did not make it out.
No.
Anna says she told him that she was leaving and that he had attacked her. She said he became violent.
Nope.
Threw her to the ground.
Nope.
And after wrestling around a bit, she grabbed the only weapon she could find, her size 9 blue suede stiletto with a 5.5-inch heel. She claimed she had no choice but to fight back. She was frightened for her life. Like, they show her interrogation too.
Ooh.
Sips tea.
Oh.
It's interessante.
No, I'm sorry. From like every bit of the story so far, there is like no fight in this guy. There's nothing about him that like, even from the synopsis that you're giving me, I was like, he absolutely did not do that.
No, he seems passive to a fault.
I'm getting a total passive vibe from him. Absolutely.
Everyone describes him that way. But you know what, too? Like, and here's the thing.
People do snap. I mean, he could be like a fucking Dr. Cribbin.
I mean, he too was drinking tequila and wine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows?
You never know what happens behind closed doors. Somebody could be seen very mild-mannered in the real, in real life, and then behind closed doors can be an absolute nightmare.
That's true.
You don't know, but I will say this. Of course, like everyone has said that, yes, he has a drinking problem. Yes, he had issues, blah, blah, blah. But he was in no way did he ever come off abusive. However, again, I will say
you don't know.
That does not
Did she have any fucking bruises
I would have never
or anything?
Said Bill Cosby was the kind of guy who could fucking, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
You're right.
you don't know
You
what
are
happens behind closed doors.
That's such a good point.
So
You're right. You're right.
To that point, investigators take stock of the evidence, though, and nothing that Anna had, noting that Anna had no markings at all.
There you go.
There was no signs of struggle. There were no bruises or scratches of any kind. They just were showing her, taking pictures of her. She had absolutely no marks, no anything.
And
not a scratch, not a nothing.
That's what's unbelievable, right there.
Yeah, that
someone coming to attack you, even if they're smaller than you, even if they're, I mean, if you're fighting for your life, there's going to be a bruise on you.
Even if you're not a bruiser.
Please, I fucking wake up with bruises, and I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? You know, so I'm like, if someone threw me me to the ground.
I'm
and
not
like
somebody who bruises easily, so I can almost get it. Like, I'm not somebody who bruises. I mean, but
here's the thing, like if
you to the
someone
ground,
and if
you'd get a
someone
bruise.
wanted to hurt you,
Right.
Again, like even if it was someone smaller than you,
Right.
If somebody is coming at you with the kind of force where their intention is to hurt you,
yeah,
they're
They're
going to feel like
leaving-
marked
feared for your
somewhere.
life.
they're
Yeah.
leaving a mark somewhere. Even
Yeah.
if you don't bruise, they're leaving a scratch. They're leaving like
Yeah.
something. Or if you're fighting,
Right.
you're leaving something.
absolutely.
So
Right.
yeah, that's
Well, they also note that the blood on her, like on her clothing, is mainly pooled in the crotch and thighs, putting her positioning basically to be like that she was
Above
on
straddling
top
him.
of him.
Right.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh, gross.
Oh my
So,
God.
Very different from what she described. So also too, honestly, you guys, they show the scene. Obviously they blur out his face or whatever, but you see the scene and it is fucking wild. Some of the things that I immediately notice when they show the crime scene is the blood stains against the wall are all really low, and that's something they mention as well.
they were
All the
down.
blood spatter as well is like in an upward motion. So as opposed to like her fighting him off,
Right.
where the blood would kind of be askew all over the place.
Right.
It's literally, he's got to be on his back. The way that the blood pooled below his head, the way that the
And
blood
she
spatter
just
was,
fucking-
she just
know,
went to town on
we
him.
talk about a lot of stories, and
And-
like we've definitely talked about grosser stories in this, but for some reason
This
there
one's
is
pretty
something
bad.
so viscerally
Well, wait.
disgusting to me.
It
about
gets worse.
straddling somebody with a shoe.
But wait, it gets worse. Stefan has 25 to 30 stab wounds. They couldn't count all of them. Not only in his head, but on his arms, his hands, fronts and backs of his hands, defensive wounds all up and down his arms, his hands,
This poor man.
and his face. So he is being bludgeoned, and he has not one time, if you really think about all of this, he's literally allowing himself to die in a position where he could easily have probably taken control of her and fucking controlled her. He
didn't wanna hurt
She
her.
didn't have a mark on her.
not
he
a
didn't
mark
want to
on her.
hurt her. Oh,
Is that the fucking
Oh.
saddest thing you've? I'm literally reading about this and thinking like, this guy doesn't have.
because he could have overpowered her.
She doesn't have a fucking scratch on her.
Oh.
He could have. He's strong. He's tall, strong guy. This beautiful man too, older man. He could have probably fucking literally, if he really wanted to, put it to an end. And she's got absolutely nothing on her.
I've been very angry at times in my life, like everyone, like human beings get angry.
Wow.
I am so unfamiliar with the notion of having that kind of rage that you could sit on top of somebody strong enough that you
Bludgeon
left
them.
bruises in your own like inner thigh area, so you were holding on.
Oh no bruises. There was just blood.
or
That
just
was where the
blood. Oh, it
had-
just pooled there.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's how they knew that it
No.
wasn't the way that she described the attack.
and
Couldn't be that
30
way.
times while someone is fighting you.
25 to 30 times.
That I'm unfamiliar with that amount of rage. Like that, I don't understand where that even like comes from. Having
Yeah.
that kind of like when they're
Wow.
not fighting back or you're not being threatened in
Oh,
any way. Like that's
God.
insane.
And the whole thing is like, not only is this wild, the court scene is wild. So the entire court scene was just a full-on spectacle, including the prosecutor who was mimicking on a mannequin the stabbing act. So he's like showing the fucking like court, like, this is how she did it on a fucking mannequin.
You don't need to do that.
Not
like,
necessary.
I did it already in my own head. Like, please don't.
Yeah. Well, after an hour, they did find that she was guilty, and while not
hour.
taking the stand during the trial, she pleads a case for herself, a case of defense during the when they decide how long she's going to get jail. What am I saying?
Oh,
Sentencing?
Sentencing, right? So she's like, I'm gonna put in a plea for myself. Like, here's my testimony. I want you to know from my side. I know that you're finding me guilty. I can't deny that, but here's what happened. And she goes to this length of describing the self-defense plea, describing for almost 7 fucking hours.
I feel like they need to put a limit on that shit. Put a cap on it. That's insane. For 7 hours?
What she deems
If I was a
happened.
jury after like hour 3, I'd be like, put her to death.
I know,
The
honestly.
end. I'm like, when's
Honestly, you had a better shot before you started this shit. I'm so tired.
yeah. Yeah.
So, in the end, the jury gives her the maximum sentence of life.
Of fucking course they would.
Yeah.
She is eligible for parole in 30 years. So
Ugh.
she will be 70, like 2 years old before she's even eligible for parole.
Oh my God. Wow.
Talk about dodging a bullet, Alan.
Yeah.
Alan.
Yikes.
Yikes on several bikes there. Yeah. Wow. Scary.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna have nightmares about like I
Dude.
see that visual and then
Yeah.
it just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
This guy like, oh,
The visceral
You know,
nature of the attack.
I was just having this conversation with Anthony because we were watching Snapped this morning in our hotel, of course.
Yeah, like you do.
Like you do. I feel like Snapped or like true crime TV just has to be on when I'm in hotels for some reason. Like that's the thing that needs to be on.
yeah,
And so
absolutely.
that was on this morning when we were getting ready. And I had this conversation with him because I was talking about the one I did, Harold Henthorne or whatever his name was, where he pushed his wife off the mountain. And I was like,
Jeez.
the betrayal of the last thing you ever see being someone you trust
And
Right.
Yeah.
and like love or loved, like doing you that kind of harm is like, so I can't even relate to how awful that must be. And so like that's the last thing he experienced is
Yeah.
like this person who he cared enough about to allow back into his life. And like, yeah, they had a problematic relationship, but like, can you fucking imagine?
No. Absolutely not.
Awful.
Do you guys want to hear the scariest thing ever that I'll probably cut out? There's a theory that there's something in your brain that allows you to feel time, right? So apparently, like if you they're not quite sure, but if that thing kind of gets severed, like the moment of death might actually not feel like a moment to you because your time is off.
Right.
Yeah.
So it might feel like an entire lifetime
Oh.
Yeah.
or an
Jesus.
eternity.
Yeah. I had heard that. Yeah, because there's certain ways of dying. That's why they say that like burning to death is like one of the worst ways.
Oh,
Because-
that's gotta be the worst.
Yeah, because drowning sounds awful, but in the it hurts, but then like in the last however long you go into like a euphoric state.
Right.
Whereas like burning, you don't do that. And like you're stuck in a state where you feel everything and you feel it like it feels prolonged.
Right. And our like how we perceive time, like you even know like from day to day, you know how some things feel like they fly by and
Yeah.
some things feel like it. It's to do with something in your brain. So like, because time, they still don't quite understand how it works. So there's a lot of things that believe that you exist like an entire lifetime, like that moment before your death.
Jesus.
That's-
like how life flashes before your eyes.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Except it's like
Yeah.
a whole life.
It's so weird.
flashing.
Have you guys ever almost died?
I was in a really, really, really bad car accident where I would have died if I wasn't buckled in. Yeah.
Oh. Because I lost all that blood, I remember thinking, because I remember when it was first happening and kind of being somewhat in and out of lucidness. And I remember thinking how at peace I was. And I've heard other people say this too, like how it's just like, I just kind of was like, I'm going to just go to sleep. And they're like, you could not fucking go. You're not.
Right,
Wait,
well,
like,
yeah.
You're dying. Like
That's
wake
what
up.
they tell you if you're
Yeah.
about to freeze to death.
Yeah.
They're like,
Don't
do
fall asleep.
not go to
'Cause it's
sleep.
so easy.
Because
And I
if
felt how easy it
you feel
was.
comfortable.
I was so at ease.
Your body puts you into
I
a
was
euphoric
relaxed.
state.
I felt
Yeah.
amazing.
Mm-mm.
I was
Don't do it.
fine. I'm just gonna nap it out.
It's just
And
fine.
they're like,
Just
no,
when
you're
I
not gonna
wake
nap
up,
it out. You're gonna
everything's
wake the
gonna
fuck
be okay.
up. I'm not gonna lie that maybe the nurse did slap me in the face. I can't remember.
God bless that nurse.
Yeah,
God
right.
bless
God
her.
bless you.
God bless her.
We're still friends on Facebook, so
Aw.
yeah.
Well, speaking of friends on Facebook, we need to stand a fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, let's stand what's his name who sent in that article?
Alan?
Alan Boyd.
No, it wasn't him. Oh well, yeah, let's do him. Perfect. Alan Boyd.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
That's
You
what-
inspired a crazy in love
Yep.
today. And thank you for listening and for being a fan and for sending in a story that led to an amazing Snapped episode that we're all
Yeah.
going to
Oh,
watch.
I'm gonna watch
we
that.
Love it.
Lots of good articles on it as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this week we stand you.
Yeah. Are you guys, I know we just talked about this, but are you guys watching anything?
I'm not. I'm obsessed with this podcast right now, The Secret History of Hollywood.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm on episode 5. It is probably one of the best narrative podcasts I've ever listened to.
Wow,
Interesting. I
that's
definitely
high
gotta check it out.
praise.
Really,
High praise.
really good. It's the sound quality is perfection, which
means a lot to you.
it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Well, it does me
but
too.
more
Yeah,
than
me too.
more than that, I went into it not knowing anything about it, and then I was like, ooh, like I love history. And the history of Hollywood, that's kind of interesting. It's not really about that. It's really about the history of one guy in Hollywood who worked for RKO. And so there's a personal element that you get to it. You also get kind of an overall history of the biz. And it's specifically, there is a true crime element to it, which is very, very interesting.
We're listening.
Yeah, because it's talking about the horror movie department at RKO. And so they're talking about like how this guy was able to think of all the different stories for his horror movies. And so they'll tell like some of the stories that he grew up hearing, as well as some of the true life serial killers that are based off of and stuff.
That's
So
cool.
it's really cool.
What's it
There's
called again? Just
The Secret History of Hollywood.
Secret History
Check
of
it
Hollywood.
out.
All right.
Check
cool,
it out.
Cool. I love that.
It starts off, maybe you'll listen to the first episode, you'll be like, what the hell? It starts off slow, but it's just let yourself be at ease, because the narrator, it's almost like a Phoebe Judge kind of narrator where it's just like really his voice just kind of trances you out, and it's really good. So
Cool.
definitely recommending that, especially if you like listening to audiobooks and something. It's like a really long, really well written, well told story.
Cool. I'm subscribing.
we have a new patron.
Yay!
Super, super exciting.
Yeah.
So Genevieve True, thank you for joining our Patreon family. We're super excited to have you.
Welcome.
Yeah. Your sticker and pin will be in the mail soon.
Yes.
I have been doing Atlanta Monster finally.
I started that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That's an interesting one. I
interesting.
should go back and finish it. It's Payne Lindsay, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he did Up and Vanished. Did you ever listen to Up and Vanished?
I think I did, actually.
Up and Vanished was good. I really enjoyed that one. And so I started listening to Atlanta Monster. I don't know
I
why
listened to Zodiac.
I don't know why I stopped. I think I maybe stopped because I was listening weekly. And sometimes when that happens,
You
when you
gotta
can't
binge.
like binge it
Yeah.
all, you like fall
binger.
off.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened. So do you recommend like getting back into it, or
I'm enjoying it. Like, I want to be like,
that was such
they
a
got
question
him.
mark?
I know. Well, it's weird because I think I went into like the first 4 episodes being like, this motherfucker did it. He crazy.
That's how I felt
He's-
too.
Like, why are we even talking about this? This motherfucker totally did it. And then I'm like,
Maybe he
they're
didn't do it.
Kind of giving, and I didn't want that. Like, which I'm going to allow to happen, and I'm just going to let it ride through.
Huh.
But it also makes me kind of be like a little enraged because do I think this guy's crazy? Yeah, this motherfucker crazy. But
Doesn't mean that he did it.
Does that mean he did
Right,
it?
yeah.
And did he do bad things? Maybe. But if it also makes me like, we need to search more into this. We need to find out, are there more murders? Are there fucking, do we have a fucking serial killer
Ooh,
that still hasn't caught? Or was this?
Jensen and Holes needs to pick this up
Yeah.
because that's what's going to come down to is crowdsourcing.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the fucking Atlanta's going to like spend money on opening up a case that's closed.
Oh, well,
You know what
especially
I mean?
a case that caused that kind of like racial divide in
There's
their city.
no way
But,
they're
you're
touching
talking like
that.
it was like a new body every 10 days or something
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Atlanta's not
goddamn.
touching it. They've got someone in jail for it. No fucking way.
No.
They're going to spend a penny on it. But Jensen and Holes and getting the fucking crowd sourcing on it.
to look into it.
Yeah, that would definitely. Yeah. I think that what they're doing is incredible. I
do
think
too. I love
that's
that show.
that's the future of, because I do think, listen, like bureaucracy, like the amount of money and the amount of time that these small agencies have to put into big crimes and stuff like that, when
They just don't have
there's
it.
something, they just don't have it. And so
Well,
I think
and sometimes they just
crowdsourcing-
don't want to do it. Like
Right.
in this case with Atlanta Monster, I'm just like, they needed to put somebody away because the city was on the verge of a fucking race riot.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know if this guy did it or not, but if he didn't do it, it would be a convenient out for them to have a black man in jail for these crimes to avoid if it was a white guy and they were killing black kids in Atlanta and
However, I do believe what the profiler said about it. Like, and they did say, like, the profiler was like, yeah, no, this lines up. Like, almost everything the profiler said was like spot on to who this guy was. But the other thing is too, is like, there's just, it's so questionable. There's so much, like, you're like, the other big thing is that most serial killers kill within the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question, I don't think, to me, is whether the guy was black or white. The question is this the right black man or the right person? You know what I mean? Like, are we even looking at the right guy at all? Or are you just like, this was convenient, you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or what? I don't know.
All right, maybe I'll listen.
Also, the 2 murders that he was convicted for were 2 adult males and was not convicted at all of any of the child murders. So that's interesting.
All right, I'm going to finish it because I think I only listened to like the first 2 episodes because I'm the same. If it's weekly, I lose track.
I mean, I did it with Cold because I was like, I have to know. But, there are certain ones that I can do it with. But the Atlanta Monster wasn't one that I could listen to every week. I needed it to be
Bernan's.
I needed it to be a binging situation. So, yeah, I'll check it out.
Cold and Root of Evil, I think, are the most Bernan's ones that I listen to.
Root of
Evil. That one episode of Cold where they talked about finally breaking into Steve's house and finding all the shit that he had. Dude. That will stick with me.
Dude.
Someone that has a Ziploc bag full of someone's used tampons. Come on.
I'm going to tell you right now.
We lost Keegan.
I'm telling you, I still think about episode 4 of Root of Evil when she's talking about her father and almost like the way that she romanticizes that. Oh, I want to puke. I mean, like, I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that I had to pause it.
You know what? I would have loved to have been a stranger sitting next to you on a plane listening to that.
Just with the ugliest face. But you know what? Here's the thing. Like, the number of times I would just look over and be like, arms in the air, like, what the fuck? To my neighbor who has no idea what I'm doing. I'm just like, the fuck? And, like, you have no clue. Okay, never mind. I can hear this. Okay, this is cool.
Well, guys, if you have any stories, any crazy in love suggestions, or just want to reach out and say hi, go to our one-stop shop of a website at myworstdatepodcast.com. You can join our Patreon. You can join our Facebook group. You can just reach out and say hi.
If you're that person who messaged me on Instagram and I accidentally deleted your message on how to send your story in, that's the way. I accidentally deleted it.
Oh, no. Yes. Yes. So there you go. We love you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Cheers.